In today's video, we conclude the harrowing story of Sara Sharif, a case that leaves us grappling with questions about family, justice, and accountability. Let's break down the timeline of events that led to the tragic death of this 10-year-old girl. Starting in April 2023, Sara's father, Urfan Sharif, informed her school that she will no longer attend and will be homeschooled instead. A strange decision, considering what followed. On April 6, 2023, the family moved into a 3-bedroom house on Hammond Road, Woking. But the signs of trouble had started earlier, as far back as June of 2022. Sara's school noticed bruises on her face and chin on multiple occasions. A month before her father pulled her out of school, Sara began wearing a hijab. While this might seem ordinary in some households, it was strange in Sara's case because no one else in her immediate family wore one. Was she being forced to wear a hijab to cover up her bruises? It's entirely possible. On the evening of August 8th at 8:30, a child from the Sharif family, presumably one of Sara's siblings, sent an urgent WhatsApp message to a school friend, and it read, "Sara just passed away." So we now know the exact time when the incident happened. Half an hour later, maybe around 9 o'clock that evening, Sara's stepmother, Benish Batul, contacted Southall Travel Agency to ask about direct flights to Pakistan, but she did not make any booking. Just 50 minutes later, at 10 p.m., Urfan Sharif reached out to a man named Nadeem Riaz, who works at a money transfer business, to arrange one-way tickets to Pakistan as soon as possible. Next day, on 9th August, Urfan Sharif, Benish Batul, and the rest of the family, minus Sara, were captured on CCTV arriving at Heathrow Airport at 9:25 a.m. They boarded a flight to Pakistan scheduled for 2 p.m. On August 10th, early morning at 2:47 a.m., Urfan Sharif called UK police from Pakistan and told them, "I have killed my daughter. I legally punished her and she died. She was misbehaving. I beat her up. It wasn't my intention to kill her, but I beat her up too much." After the call, police rushed to the now deserted family home in Woking. They found Sara's body lying on the bed with a note in Urfan's handwriting right beside her. On August 15th, a post-mortem examination confirmed what no one wanted to believe. Sara's death was not natural. She had suffered blunt force trauma inflicted on her over several weeks. Her body showed signs of restraint, burns from the iron on her buttocks, bruises, human bite marks, and more. Before her untimely death, she had endured unimaginable pain. What could a 10-year-old possibly have done to deserve such a fate? It's heartbreaking. On September 6th, in a video broadcasted by Sky News, Sara's father and stepmother Benish Batul came forward for the first time since the incident came to light. In the video, Benish Batul read out a statement from the couple, calling Sara's death an incident. After weeks of trying to avoid arrest, on September 13th, Urfan Sharif, Benish Batul, and Sara's uncle, Faisal Malik, succumbed to the pressure from the authorities and presumably their own families, returned to the UK. They were arrested as soon as the plane made landing in the UK. The murder trial started at the Old Baileys on October 14th, 2024. All three main accused denied murder and causing or allowing Sara's death. As the trial went on, the courtroom became a battleground. Urfan and Benish Batul blamed each other. Urfan Sharif claimed that Benish Batul was also physically abusing Sara, which she of course denies. Her legal team portrays her as a victim of abuse herself. Initially, Urfan Sharif denied being present at the residence at the time of Sara's death. He blamed his wife. But later in court, he admitted to beating Sara and he claimed that her death was unintentional. The details revealed during the trial are horrifying. Sara had over 70 injuries on her, including a broken neck bone from strangulation. She had suffered 25 fractures from blunt force trauma over several weeks, and she was living with that pain. This was not a singular act, it was a sustained, relentless abuse. Their neighbors recall hearing screams from the Sharif household. The hijab Sara wore became a symbol of secrecy surrounding her suffering. And here's where the case gets even more disturbing. During the trial, it came to light that social services and family courts had raised concerns about placing Sara solely in her father's care. Irfan Sharif had a history of domestic violence allegations against him, and he was ordered to complete a domestic violence perpetrators program. Initially, his access to Sara was limited to supervised visits, but later he gained full custody, likely due to his second marriage to Benish Batul, a devastating lapse in judgment for which Sara paid the ultimate price. Sara's death wasn't just a tragedy, it was a failure of the system meant to protect her. The prosecution argues that all three adults in the household are equally culpable. Even if Benish Patul and Malik Urfan, Sara's uncle, didn't deliver the fatal blow, they allowed the abuse, helped hide it, and fled the country when Sara died. Their actions or inactions speaks volumes. Prosecution also alleges that after Sara's death, someone cleaned her up and placed her in the bunk bed where police later found her. Her leggings, a soiled diaper, and two wet towels were discovered in the trash during the search. In the coming weeks, this case will likely conclude. What degree of punishment three main accused will get is yet to be seen. And whatever it may be, I have a feeling it's not going to be enough. This case leaves us with some haunting questions. How did this happen? How was this allowed to happen? How was Sara left in the care of someone with a violent history? And how did three adults allow such unimaginable cruelty to continue on a child? Sara's life ended in pain, but her story is a reminder of how critical it is to protect our most vulnerable. Let's hope justice is served for Sara and for every child failed by the system. If you found this video impactful, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's raise awareness and demand change for children like Sara who need our protection the most. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.